Hello friend, welcome back. In this video, I want to show you how can update that permissions name, that the permissions display name and the description. So if you want to update it, then how can do that work? In this video, I will show you with the live example. For doing this, first of all, we have to create one of the route for this one. Like if you go to the our route area, like that is our route. Okay. So for now, I just copy it, and here, first of all, I just want to add one of the route for this one. So for edit here, I just defining as a get method. Now here I want to access the permissions and the edit. So I just defining as the edit. Okay, and also on particular that area right now I want to access that things with one of the array. Okay, like here, better I just remove it. And in particular that position, first of all I want to add the array, and into the position first of all I just define as uses. So I already discussed about that things with you. Uses means that which controller method you want to access. So right now we have to define that things on here. So now I want to access that is admin, that is a permissions controller. So here I just defining the admin, the permissions controller. One of the method I want to access as the edit method. Okay, I just defining as the edit method on here. And also I have to define that as a as, like here I just defining another one as a as our value, like here I have to defining it as a permissions edit. Okay, permission and edit. So here I just defining it on here. Okay, so that is our get. Better I just put on the one line. So here I just defining as a get method, that is a permission edit will be our URL, and here I just defining as a uses, and then uses which controller method you want to access. Like here I want to access the permissions controller edit method. So into the edit method we have to work, and also I just defining as a as and the permission edit. And after that edit I also have to do another work. I have to update it. So when you actually update some of the data, I already discussed about that things with you, then you have to add that method as a put method. So here I just defining the put method for the update. So here I just defining as the edit. Okay, and also that uses, now I want to access another method as update. So there is the update method, and then it should be the permission update. And also we have to edit and we have to update that things with the ID. Like if you go to the database area, like here you can see there is a ID1, there is a 2, there is a 3. So when you want to update that name, when you want to update the 2ID name, so we have to update that things by the ID. Okay, so for the reasons we have to do, like here I just want to add one of the ID for this one. Like here I just take one of the second bracket, and into this position I just defining one of the variable as the ID. And also when I will update it, then I will also update it with by the ID. For the reasons here I also defining that things on here. So now we have to work in our page, like there is view page, there is a permission. So that is it should be just like our create page. So I just copy all things from here, and now here I paste it. Okay, so that is the thing. So here I paste it. So now we have to actually customize that edit blade. Like that is actually the form. So for right now I just want to add the form as a model on here. Okay, so here I just defining the model, and into this position I just want to take one of the variable as a permissions. Like here I just defining it. Okay, I just defining one of the variable as permission, and now that is the URL. So right now I just want to I just assign that method as a route. Okay, so here I just defining as a route, and I want to take the things with the one of the arrays. So better I just defining as a fast on here, and the way I have to finish it. So I just start it from to this position, and here I just paste it. Okay, so it should actually started that things from here and on particular that area after that post. Okay, and now on particular that area I just define as a route. So I just defining as a route, and into this position we have to defining our page. Like here I just defining that on here as a permission update. Okay, so for now I just copy it, and now into this position I just defining it first of all. That is actually route, and here I also want to better I just remove it. Okay, I just remove it, and here I take another route, and here first of all that route will be the permission update, and also here I defining another parameter as the ID. So right now we have to also display it. So for doing this, like into these positions, okay, now I want to show that with this variable as a permission. So now with this I want to display that ID. Okay, like here I just defining it with this, and here I just declare that parameter as a ID. So I just defining it ID on here, and then the method, and this method will be the output method because I want to update it. For the reasons I just defining that method as a put. Okay, like here you can see I just defining as a put. So for now I just update that method as a put method. So hope you can well understand about it. And now we have to do like in our that permission page, here there is options. Okay, so now I want to add one of the buttons on particular that position. For doing this, that is our list page. So for now I just want to go to our list page, and into the list page, so that is actually the description, that is a for each, and it on here, and into this position, that is actually the TD. So right now I have to work into this TD area. So here first of all I just take one of the a herif. Okay, and into this position I just define one of the class, and here I just define class as a btn primary, one of the bootstrap class. So if you know a little bit the bootstrap, then you can well understand about it. So here I just define as a btn primary, and our button will be the edit. Okay, I just defining as a edit on here, and into the URL what exactly that things we have to do. Like if you click on the edit, then this specific ID will be updated. Okay, so it should be redirected to our another page. That means it should be redirected to our edit page. For the reasons here we have to assign that URL. So I just want to add that with a double second bracket. So here I just defining as a URL, and into this position I just want to add that will be redirected to our edit page like as a back, and then the permission edit, that is actually that permission, you can see that is actually the permission edit, and with also we have to pass the ID. So for now I just copy that. Okay, and here I just paste it, that it should be redirected to the back and the permission and then the edit. And also here we have to define that ID. Like here you can see they have some of the IDs, so parameters. So now we have to define that ID. So this ID will be actually with the row. So with this row I just want to define that ID, the fullest piece, and then with the row here I just define that our field name, database field name as the ID. So that is actually the database field name. If you go to this positions database, you can see that is actually the ID, that is the table ID. So here I just defining that row on particular that position. So now if you click on the save all, like here I click on the save all, now I just refresh that page. Now here you can see there is another option button is added on here as edit. And also here I defining our ID. Like if you put your cursor onto the edit button, now you can see it's now showing as a ID1, there is a ID2, there is a ID3, and there is ID4. Okay, so if you click on the edit, then it should be redirected to the permission edit and the one. Okay, that means the ID1. So that's the things I added in our route. So here if you go to the route, here you can see there is a permission edit and with this ID, and into this position that is our admin, that is our permissions controller and the edit method. So now we have to work in our edit method. Like if you go to that permission controller, they have also one of the method as an edit method. So I will continue this process, and in our next video I will show you how can create that edit method. Okay, so then it will be very much interactive. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.